We have arrived. The sixth Invitational playoffs. Always a time of mechanical skill and mental fortitude. Not a greater test of a team's mettle can be found than in this gauntlet. 16 teams will enter, only one has the honor of lifting the hammer. Let us meet the teams vying for this prize. It's a lot better than it was in April. Tell me back then that this team would be a legit contender for the hammer, and I would have laughed at you. Now, with the team rounding into form and finally winning matches, I can see the argument. Their maps are strong. We're living in a world where joystick is no longer in a slump anymore. I know, I'm scared too. With the only teams who've beaten them being in the losers bracket, and the other two teams either in another bracket or out, this year's Dark Horse may yet lift the hammer. Two teams that qualified against all odds are Parabellum and Makers, neither of whom are competing in the NAL nor EUL respectively. We'll start with Parabellum, the squad that played under Altiora in the Canadian Pro League in 2020 and now competing in the NACL with Parabellum, have all had their start on decently known T3 and T2 teams in NA, like Thunder Logic, Arbad, Valor, Spiker GG, and Bittersweet. Makers are an even larger anomaly, as they have yet to play in the EUCL and are currently first in the PG National. Makers the org has been home of some notable EU players, such as Blur, Baka Brian, and Sloppy. Both teams would be shoo-ins to win it all if it wasn't for the fact that they seriously lack T1 experience. They've done well during best of ones. Let's see if best of threes will be as forgiving. The champion returns to defend their title. It's a daunting task, one that only one team has failed before them, but many more will fail as well. SI isn't considered an easy tournament to win for a reason. Space Station still has the depth and talent to flesh out a push, but there are some serious dilemmas. I know Canadian has been out for a while now, but they still have the team chemistry to make it work. But will it all mesh together for another run? This one might be a bit tougher, especially considering the competition this time around. Once eliminated, the detractors will say the team is washed and call it a day. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how haters work. The end of the despair is in sight. I don't believe I'm exaggerating when I say that this is the most talented team the OXG core has produced. New faces, old cast-offs, we all saw this team's potential when they finished first in the NAL. With the addition of Yaga to the team's frontline and Kino blossoming into a top-tier support player, they have enough pieces to place high. The goal is simple. Their first top 4 finish since SI 2019. Anything else is house money. A new age is upon us. One where FaZe Clan might return to former glory after some time of lurking in the shadows. They haven't tasted multiple top 4 placements in a year, but now they're back for more. Astro, Bullet, Cyber, Cameraman, Souls, there's a reason why fans are excited about them this year. No longer is FaZe a hodgepodge of half-assembled parts, but a fully functioning unit. We all know they have the firepower to go deep, but it's the little things that will make or break them. It'll be something to watch these next few days. I think it's safe to say that Team Liquid are the biggest wildcard team in these playoffs. When they're clicking, they have serious intrigue. They have a well-balanced team that can make noise in the upper bracket. There are times when Liquid are unable to show up, i.e. against EU plus Cyclops. They were able to place third in Group A, but my question is, do they have what it takes to reach their full potential? They have flashes of brilliance, but they are few and far between. It hasn't hampered them yet, but it wouldn't hurt to have a deep run now, would it? So which G2 team are we going to get these playoffs? The rock-solid unit that won back-to-back SIs, or the team that bombed out of the SI 2020 playoffs? While having your all-star player retire before SI isn't an ideal situation to be in, G2 have handled the transition as well as one could hope. Placing 5th in Stage 1 of the EUL, and then placing 8th in groups are not results one would expect from a team with a legacy in R6 like G2's. They have the pieces to make a lower bracket run, but the timing might be off. To think that we thought this team had a chance in hell a few months ago. But Chip, you argue, the playoffs are a clean slate. Why dismiss them outright instead of letting things play out as they are? Have you seen them play during the group stage? They've collapsed on themselves. If they weren't in Group A, there would be multiple Reddit threads being made right now. Everything has fallen apart. The team can't stop putting Mint on Blitz and hoping for a miracle. Their NAL placement was warning us of this doom. I just didn't think it would happen so soon. They did give Team Empire their only loss during groups. There may yet be hope. If anyone else thinks this team should rename to Team Alamau, say aye. The man is the most consistent player on the team, it's almost sad. The fact that he dropped 11 kills versus BDS and Empire is nothing short of impressive, especially when his teammates struggled against any team that wasn't called Dark Zero. If Alamau gets picked up by a better team before roster lock, don't say I didn't warn you. Here it comes, folks. The relentless wave of TSM and Bolo fans pumping up the team as a legitimate SI contender. But they're not totally wrong. They're a good team. The high-end talent on the roster is grade A, with Bolo and Geo getting kills like none other. This is easily the best TSM squad I've seen so far. But how much is their placement due to their group? There is hope, but with lingering dread from their 5th place NAL finish. Even if these facts are true, at least do us all a favor, make it to the upper bracket finals. I honestly think they can do it, though I cringe to think what will happen if they flop. It was looking iffy for a hot minute, with teams trying their best to win against them. Thankfully, you were in Group B. This means while most teams were able to keep it close, they conveniently still have their own shortcomings to deal with. Perhaps we should give you the benefit of doubt. As the team has adjusted to a LAN environment and playoffs being best of 3, this might give the team an advantage. However, the team is a bunch of what-ifs. They made it to the finals last year, but they fell off soon after. Hopefully they won't get cold feet because of it. To go from almost being relegated to qualifying for the biggest tournament of the year is nothing short of incredible. They're a sleeper candidate this year. I don't know if they have what it takes to make a lower bracket run, but they're a team to watch for the future. Incredible what a few well-made roster changes can do for a team. Have you learned from your past mistakes, BDS? Have you realized that you can't soar too high lest you get burned by the sun and fall into a watery grave? Apart from playing all 15 rounds whenever they played on Cafe, the group stage has brought one of the best teams to the upper bracket. Almost everything was humming like a bird. There was nothing else to say. Renshiro, Edems, and Ride played well during groups. Shaiko, on the other hand, hasn't played as well when compared to last SI, but I expect him to make a return to form in a best-of-3 format. This team is a shoo-in for top 3. Talent. Gobs upon gobs of talent. This is how MIBR will win, assuming Group B is as good as Group A. The team boasting an average rating of 1.0 or higher hopefully means they'll win a series or 2. Good team play and capitalizing on their opponent's mistakes is what will win them games. There are only 2 dilemmas lingering in the distance. Closing maps. While going even at the half when starting an attack is good, MIBR's defense is not where it needs to be if they're hoping to win. And then there's Group A. While the teams in Group B are good in best of ones, their skill pales in comparison when matched up against the team from Group A. It's a crucial year for MIBR. They've been practicing for this moment for a while. Let's hope they won't blow it.